right, so we're up early this morning because you're heading off on your trip down south, the South Island.
Yeah.
And bet you're excited?
Yes, yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. So we thought we'd take a little bit of a moment to talk about your book.
Yes.
And so what did you have in mind when you wrote this book?
Well, I guess I had in mind a bit of a glitch that we went through overseas. So we were over in Turkey doing some pretty amazing stuff, really, weren't we, for 3.5 years. And we were really, really proud of how each other were doing and how the family were doing. But we did find that somewhere along the way we got a little glitch in our marriage, I guess, and what we found was it was nothing big, but if there was a wrong way to take each other, we took each other the wrong way. If our words could provoke each other, they provoked each other, and it just got yuck, didn't it? But we weren't really pushing through and finding any solution.
Yeah. So you've called the book "Feels Like I'm Breathing."
Yes.
So how'd you come up with that title?
Well, it was. I just decided that I needed a fix, I guess, or a solution. We needed some sort of breakthrough that was not just us trying harder and trying to, problem solve by ourselves. And so I ended up taking some time out. It was actually during Ramadan in Turkey, and I figured if all the locals could get up early and pray, I'd get up early and pray too. And I just say it like it was to God. And if He gave me, told me to do something, I'd do it. But pretty much we were going to leave fixing the marriage to God. And so it was really just a simple process. As I started writing down, I wrote down every word I said to God and every word He said back to me. And I didn't expect the places He would take me. But basically what happened was I just said, Lord, I close my ears to every voice that's not your voice. I close my ears to every distracting voice, to my own confusing thoughts, to the enemy and all of his lies, and I will listen only to your Holy Spirit. And what I didn't expect was He would start to take me to some of the sad places in my life, I guess, wounds and strongholds, we would call them now, but I didn't really know what we were dealing with back then. And what He did is He just showed me one area after another where the enemy had nearly a legal right to mess with me and therefore into our marriage. And He showed me how to get it sorted. So I was just on a journey with Him. I wrote down, as I say, every word I said to God, every word He said back to me. About 3 weeks in, I thought, oh Lord, I never knew I was this messed up. Am I ever going to be okay? And it was just about that time where we dealt with something together one morning, and I looked up and I literally said, Lord, is this what it feels like to be born again? Because I'd given my heart to the Lord when I was four years old, but there I was, 37 years old in Turkey, and I finally felt like I'd been born again. And the reason I called it Feels Like I'm Breathing is it actually felt like I'd taken my first breath of spiritual air.
Yeah, that's great. So you often talk about using spiritual means, and as opposed to natural means.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the difference, when this month it was a different way of approaching things, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was different to just saying, okay, well, I'll try to be more respectful, or I'll try to show my love in ways that work for you. I felt that, great as all of those are, I actually didn't have what it took to sustain that. Yeah. And my good intentions usually fell over in the heat of the moment. And I guess what I found was, where before I would get provoked, for example, and let's say something like anger would just come out of me, or meanness or something. I just felt powerless against that before, but when I got to the root of it with the Holy Spirit, with the Lord, I found that the power of it was broken. So the provocations can still come, hey, yeah. But we're not powerless, and actually we have what it takes to actually call on the name of the Lord and be saved and move through.
Yeah, that's great. So it's a bit raw.
Yes, it's very raw.
And there were even some people that said, oh, maybe this isn't the best book to start with.
Yes, that's true.
So how come you went ahead anyway?
I went ahead just because it's been 7 years now, out of that time, we have, as you know, we have prayed with many, many people, because what we found is our story is pretty much, it's pretty much everybody's story. That the things that the Holy Spirit went to in my life really tend to be most people's issues and stuff, because he went to the very root of it. And so we've prayed with many people along the way who've also found themselves stuck, and just seen that every single time it works. And so 7 years down the track, the Holy Spirit said to me, Anya, put it out now, because your story will be the catalyst for other people's journey. It's not a how-to book. It's not, here, do what I did. But I believe that as people read my story, things will trigger in their minds and go, that brings this to mind, and now I know a pathway forward.
So we've laughed a few times about the fact that this isn't probably the most enjoyable book. So what's in it for people who might like to pick it up and have a read?
Well, you get to see us, warts and all. No, I think, it's essentially, it gives hope. And we really do believe now, don't we, that there's just absolutely nothing that cannot be restored to the way God intended it, including ourselves, our home life, our communities, our whole situation. So it's really a book that gives a lot of hope.
Yeah, it's great. It's full of testimony, and it's changing lives for generations to come.
Yep.
We're really excited about Feels Like I'm Breathing, and it's going to be a great road trip as you launch it. Down south.
Yeah. I believe I've got some big words burning in my heart for people, but I just believe that there's, it's not just about my book down there. We're really going to be blessed as well by the people we go to. But I'm really excited about the story getting out.